Hey, this is Matt Boldy, and you're listening to Locked On Wild.
Hey, this is Marcus Foligno, and you're listening to Locked On Wild.
You're Locked On Wild, your daily podcast on the Minnesota Wild. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, everybody. Welcome into a Wednesday. I got to be honest, because of how cold it's been, I have lost all track of time and days. I thought it was Friday 3 days in a row. So I don't know what's going on, but it is a Wednesday, and it is time for us to dive in. We got a big show here tonight. So without further ado, Denny, good evening.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to What the Hell Are You Smoking? And as you know, last night I had my my birthday party at Zamboni's, where a lot of people showed up, which was awesome. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I had people from Grand Forks, from Bemidji, Forest Lake. I mean, they drove a long ways to get here. And I want to give out a shout out to Nathan Muckla and his lovely wife for coming. They drove 4.5 hours just to meet me. Now, you just don't see that. And so thank you so much for coming. And, you know, the whole time he had 100 questions, and it was cool just to talk hockey. So there you go, Nathan. You get your shout out. Thank you so much. And everybody gets, can you put up a picture of Bob and Mary getting their watches? Did I send you a picture of that?
You sent me that. I'm going to do this so that I can kind of blow it up a little bit more.
Sure.
Take a look at those. Pretty nice.
I don't see anything.
I just I put it up. It was on my phone.
Oh. I still don't see anything. And you're frozen. Huh.
I'm frozen?
Yep. I can hear you okay, but no film.
Great. Well, glad my laptop is on the brink of death again.
Okay. Yeah, well, anyways, thank you everybody for showing up. I just, it's really a good feeling. And I'm going to talk about what I saw in last night's game. As I was talking to Seth before, I fell asleep at 6 thinking I would just take a little nap, and I didn't wake up till 5 to 8. So I'm going to scramble in here a little bit, but I hope I have a pretty good show for you. I want to talk about the Wild's offense and what I see that it has transformed. And I would like your thoughts on what you see. And what they're doing is they're emulating Colorado. The stretch pass is now probably 80% of their offense. And let's see here. I do have the numbers. A lot of research to find it, but here we go. This comes from Sports Logic and Hockey Reference, and how the one and only Hughes has changed the Minnesota Wild. I mean, it's unbelievable how they have changed the offense because of Hughes, and they're doing the right thing. I mean, the coaches are pressing the right buttons. My hat's off to Hines for what he's doing, because it really has Hughes really has transformed the Wild's offense. Hold on one second. I got to grab something. I'll be right back in a minute.
let's talk about the game last night. And yeah, I'm looking into my internet because I don't know what is going on here, but it's not great. So I'll do that while we talk about the game last night. Obviously, the first part of the game was not great. Not great at all. First half of the game. But the Wilds, they got it done. They just kept chipping away, and they finally were able to tie it up. About 2 minutes left, and next thing you know, they win it in the shootout. So that would it have been nice to beat Chicago in regulation? Sure, but sometimes that's just not how things play out.
I got to roll a couple cigarettes.
Okay. Yeah, let's I'll just keep a couple comments from the game last night, as Bob mentions here. How about 5 for 5 for the penalty kill last night? The Wild had, before last night, they had the worst home penalty kill in the league by far. And so going 5 for 5 at home, I like that. That we need to see more of that. We need to see just more consistent performance as far as the penalty kill goes in adverse circumstances, because let's be honest, I couldn't decide whether it was glaucoma or cataracts or just straight up being blind for the officials in last night's game. It seemed like a mix of all three here and there. So, it's now we're getting more that the internet's bad. God damn it. All right, stand by.
You're really
Yeah, I'm working on it. I don't know what's going on.
Try rebooting maybe.
No, it'll kill the room if I leave. It'll kill the stream.
You're frozen again. My life. Well, we're having some technical difficulties here. It looks like the power of the net has hit us again. I have no Seth at all. And I can't tell if anybody's seeing me or can hear me. Huh. Well, I'm just going to keep talking about the offense. Seth can jump in when he jumps in. Otherwise, we may have to move to tomorrow night. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the schedule is. At any rate, let's talk about the Minnesota Wild offense. And what I saw last night, the transformation that you don't see from TV. But being there at the game. Oh, thanks, Bob. Okay, good. What I saw, as I was alluding to earlier, is, Colorado uses the stretch pass predominantly. And for you people who don't know what the stretch pass is, That's where Hughes takes it up and he's looking at who's ever in front and tries to catch who's ever defending Colorado or whatever team it is on a 2-on-1 or 1-0 break. And when it works, it's beautiful to see. And Hughes, and I got his stats right here. When he brings the ice up rank to the blue line, he's at 89.3%. And when he does a stretch pass, he's at 83.3%, which is phenomenal because it's the hardest pass to make. And so what happens with the stretch pass, and that's how they create their offense now. For instance, Trennan, his breakaway up the right side when he was going in, that was the direct result of a stretch pass. And who would have thought that Trennan would have scored the first goal? And oh my God, what a night it was. I mean, for everybody who got to see it, it was just a beautiful goal. You know, Trennan is a lean, mean hit machine who can provide a little offense. He has found his home. And, you know, right now, I'm looking here, he's got, sheet that I put this on. Well, he leads the league in hits. I think it's 167, 200. Let's see. I've got so many notes I got to take. At any rate, he leads NHL, and he's predicted to have almost 400 hits this year. And he really has found his home. And his upside is that he can score a goal or two once in a while. He's got 4 goals, 11 assists for 15 points that we don't expect from him. And when he started that, when he got that goal, I could actually see the Wild starting to loosen up. Because, you know, Chicago came on like gangbusters at the beginning of the game. And that first goal was just, you know, they rushed the net and we weren't ready and they scored a goal. But you got to give credit to the Wall of St. Paul. I mean, he stood tall. He had several really, really good saves. He kept us in the game. And when Trennan finally got that first goal, that kind of broke everything up. And of course, you know, that got the scrum goal in the front. And for all you Spurgeon haters, look what he did. Ties the game up with about 2 minutes left, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. Let me get back to the Wild's offense. Now, one thing I noticed, and this is a set play, when they come in, whether it's Boldy or Eck or whoever's down, they start to play down from the right corner. They go up high to Faber or Spurgeon, who's ever up high, and they do a cross-ice pass to Hughes. And who better than to have Hughes to purvey the situation, see where the players are. So when they pass back, what they're really doing is passing back to the weak side, and he gets to take a look at where everybody's at, and he goes forward accordingly to what they're presenting. And, you know, Hughes is over a point a game with us. He now has 26 points in 22 games. And, you know, where would we be without him? We are really a cup contender, but we still need one first-line center. You know, and I've been saying it for a long time, but we do. I don't think we'll have any problems playing with Dallas, but we have to play everybody, so that means we got to go through Colorado to get the cup. And to get Colorado, we need a player or two yet because they are just that good. As I've said before, Colorado is the best team I've seen in 50 years. They have no weakness, none, top to bottom. They are strong. But losing Landeskog and Taves, they last 10, they're 4-4-2, so they've come back down to earth. I don't think we're going to catch them, but we're going to be close. You know, at the beginning of the year, I predicted the Wild would end up with 113 points this year. And then after we got Hughes, I changed it a little. I'm going to stick with the 113 points because you got to figure we got 28 games left. And I'm thinking we got to win on the 20. We got to win 20 anyway. And that seems reasonable. 20 wins, 8 losses. That would give us 110, 40 points. We got, what, 70 now? That would give us 110. You got to figure we're going to have a few more overtimes, of course. So I'm going to stick with my 113. And we'll see where it goes from there. Let me see. And then we're talking about, Seth had a show earlier with Alex about Nico Hershiser of the New Jersey Devils as being the latest to have his name thrown around. And they would give up Wallstead for him. I would not give up Wallstead for anybody, unless it was McKinnon or McDavid. You need 2 goalies today. Wallstead is a gem that's just starting. There's other players to be had. If we have to give up Wallstead to get Nico Hershiser, I'd pass on. I just, and they're talking about comparing him to Trocheck. Let's see, where did my notes are all messed up. Oh, Jesus. But at any rate, Trocheck and Nico are very similar. Nico has, 44 games played? And, oh, Jesus, I wish I don't know where I put the paper. At any rate, they're almost
allow
even.
me to hop back in.
Yo, okay, you're back on. All right. I'm a little lost here without you.
Apologies, everybody. That is completely unprofessional on my part. But we're back. Nico Heischer's played in 53 games this year.
And he's got 44 points?
40.
40. And Trocheck has played in 33 or 35 games, and he's got 31 points, right? God, I don't know where I put the sheet now. I'm a little lost. I'm still waking up from my nap. Sorry about that. But they're almost even. And Ryan O'Reilly, who was my very first pick at the very beginning, he's got 51 points in 52 games. He just had a hat trick against Colorado. He's still my first pick. And Nashville has done no trading yet, but I don't see them even making the playoffs. So, this next couple of weeks is going to be very exciting. I think Billy's just holding it very close to the vest. I think he already knows what he's going to do. What are your thoughts on that, Seth?
Yeah, I think at this point you're probably just checking in with teams, checking back with teams. I do agree that I think his big fish is probably already maybe not in the boat, but has been hooked. And it's just a matter of kind of dotting the I's and finishing things up. As far as who, it entirely depends on which teams are out. Artemi Panarin is being benched until after the Olympic break. That just came out today.
Really? I missed that one.
That just happened probably within the last hour. They are shutting him down until after the Olympics, strictly for trade reasons. They don't want him to get hurt before the trade deadline.
Well, they're Trocheck and Panarin are my top two that we could do. We can't afford Panarin in the off season, but we could rent him for the rest of the year and make it work. Whether it happens or not is to be seen. As Seth brought up, Nico's being bandied about now as the next man on the ledger, but I think they want too much for Nico. He's a great player and he fits in, and he would really help the Wild, just like Trocheck or Riley. It's just what they want for him. It all depends what you got to pay. But if it was me, I would not give up Wallstedt for any of them. Wallstedt's got to stay. It's very rare that you get two 1A goalies on the same team at the same time, and we do. And that's a huge benefit to the Wild. I would work on anybody else. And, I really want to protect Wallstedt, but I see a lot of stuff about. I'm sorry, I forget this. Who's our third line center, Seth?
Hartman, Urov.
Yes, Urov. A lot of people are talking about Urov. And would they, and Seth and Alex had in an earlier show, they wouldn't give him up for anything. Well, if I had to give up Urov for Wallstedt, I would give up Urov if it meant getting a true number one. And I know that's hard to say, but sometimes you got to give up something good to get something good. But for me, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are about it. Maybe you can leave a comment what you think, but I would much rather give up Urov than Wallstedt. So, end of the show, we'll see what you guys think, but that's just my thoughts. I'm very high on Wallstedt, as you know, and we're just beginning to see that. And another thing I saw last night in the Chicago game is that Wallstedt has found his confidence again. He's coming out of the net to challenge shooters, which he hasn't done in a few games. And that was really nice to see. That means his confidence is back. And that's a good thing because, goalies go through it. Every goalie goes through it during the course of the year where something will happen and go, Jesus, what did I do? How did I let that in? And he lost a little confidence and he was sitting back in the net, which gave too much room for people to shoot at. And that's why he had a few bad games. But last night, I saw his confidence back. Excuse me. And that's a good thing because I think we're going to see him go on a roll now. Your thoughts, Seth?
Yeah, and he just needed some level of good performance to get his confidence back up, and he was big in the third period and in OT to keep that game tied. And so you're just hoping at this point that he can just use that as kind of a base, a building block that he can use to kind of jump forward over the next handful of games.
I know I asked you earlier, did you find the original set for the percenters that I had picked out 6 weeks ago?
I was looking at it before my internet crashed. I want to say it was all the way back. And I know Thompson and O'Reilly were 2. I know that was half of
Thompson from St. Louis?
No, from Buffalo.
Oh, that does. I wish maybe a fan remembers my original 4, but I had Nico, Hershiser, Trocheck, Panarin, and O'Reilly. That was the no, I didn't have Panarin to start. I can't remember the other center, but I think it's going to be one of them anyway. My first pick and always has been, it's been Ryan O'Reilly. A lot of people said that he wasn't a first-line center. Well, we agree to disagree because I think he'd be a hell of an addition for us. all three of them that we have talked about are excellent centers. Trocheck is a second line center in the Rangers, but he'd be a first line center for us. That's how weak we are up the middle. Even with that, we we need a first line center. I'm not going to say it anymore to this show, but we do. And talking about the offense and how it's transformed. The Wild used to use predominantly a 2-1-2 attacking, and that's where they send in two forwards, which is a very aggressive move when moving in, and that's to turn the defense and create turnovers. They don't use that hardly at all now. They use the stretch pass, which is a little bit less. You don't get to control it as much, but they're still over 50%. And before we got Hughes, we were in the bottom third of the league on 5-on-5 and driving the play. And now do you know where we're ranked now? We got to be in the top 5, I would think.
As far as
a 5-on-5 driving the play.
Let me see I can get you where God, I can't even open a fucking tab. Let's see here. 5-on-5 goals. The Wild are they're 18th, but they were like 28th earlier in the season.
Yeah,
so
we were terrible.
They've jumped up about 10 spots.
Oh, and I found a list here. Trocheck, Nico, and O'Reilly points-wise. Trocheck in 39 games has 33 points. He was hurt at the beginning of the year, so he's only got 39 games. Nico has 40 points in 53 games. And Ryan O'Reilly has 51 points in 52 games, and he just had a hat trick against Colorado. So you can't tell me O'Reilly isn't a true number one center, because he really is. And he's got the best contract of all of them. That's why I picked him number one, simply because his output towards his contract, we could really make that work and get another player, another, super wing, which I really think we need. I mean, JoJo's been doing a good job this year, but I would, if we can, I would much rather pick up a dynamic winger. And there's a few of them out there, starting with Panarin, as we talked about. But there's a few wingers out there that we could get. Have you given that any consideration, Seth?
I mean, at this point, that's a good point that I am going to have to, I'm going to think about that one for a little bit.
Okay. From Nashville, we could get Forsberg. Oh, and Trav brought up bringing on, who's the other center? Stamkos. Now, I looked at Stamkos' numbers.
For Nashville?
Yeah. To bring him in. Well, he's clearly lost a step, and even though he's scoring some points now, he's got 33 points in 52 games. That doesn't light me up at all, really. I'd much rather have Forsberg than Stamkos. And I'm thinking that if Nashville's going to do a deal, they're going to deal for everybody. It only makes sense because they're not going anywhere with this team, even though they've been playing better as of late. They're not going to do anything this year. So it makes sense for them to retool, rebuild, or whatever they want to call it. And Forsberg and O'Reilly would be two huge additions for us if they went that way. Or, of course, Panarin and Trocheck. And if I had to do a deal with Nico Hershiser, I'd also add his brother. And if I had to give up Wallstead, New Jersey has a goalie that I really like. His name is Dawes. And he'd have to be part of the package if we got, because we got to get a goalie back if we're losing Wallstead. we got to get a goalie back, and Dawes would be my first pick. He's only got one game in the NHL, so it shouldn't be that hard to pry away from. But he's a spectacular goalie. He's got like a 963 save percentage, and you play in one game, he had in 30 shots, he had 30 saves. I mean, but he does real well down in the farm team. He'd be one that I would look at to get back, because if we got to give up Wallstead, which God, I hope doesn't happen, but if it does, we got to get a goalie in return from whatever team we're trading with. But if it's New Jersey, Nico and Hughes, it only makes sense if you go that way. Because I'm thinking we're going to have about $10 million at the trade deadline, somewhere close to there. Some people say it's going to be 12. I don't know, Seth. I know it changes every day. Where are we at right now with trade money?
Let me see if I can pull it up without crashing my internet again. Projected deadline cap space is 10.3 million right now.
There you go. That's enough to make a deal for two players. At least I think it would be. We got any thoughts or comments or questions yet?
One player that you were all over early that we have forgotten was John Tavares.
Oh, yes, Tavares. That's the one. Thank you so much. He was in my original top four. There we go. Well, Tavares, Toronto's playing better of late. And I'm not sure that Toronto is looking to sell. I think they're looking to add now, which is unfortunate for us, good for them. But if Tavares is available, I would certainly pick him up. He's always been a dynamic player. And he would be a true number one center for us, even though he's second line for Toronto. He'd be a true number one for us. He's, and everybody's going to say about his age. Yeah, I know. All the really good players are older now that are for sale, actually. And the age doesn't scare me at all. I mean, look what Florida did when they accumulated, what was his last name from Boston?
Marchand.
Yeah, and look how old he is. And look what he did for that team. And he was, 38 then?
37, I think.
Yeah, 37, 38, whatever. And everybody here would be flipping out. But look what he did for that third line of Florida. I mean, they had no answer for him. And, it was really because of him that they won the cup, because they didn't have an answer. I don't know. I think he had 12 points in 16 games or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But the age doesn't scare me. Age, all that, no. What you're getting with age is you're getting the commitment. You know what it takes. Because in the playoffs, as you all know, it's a different game. You have a lot less space, a lot less anything, because it's man on man. Every hit, I mean, it's just a totally different game. There's no freewheeling really, except, unless you're Colorado, because they have so much speed. And then last night, the third period, does anybody remember the 2 minutes where we just put on a hold the puck show? I mean, for 2 minutes, the Wild were just skating around crazy, and everybody was doing the curlings. Does anybody remember that 2 minutes? They didn't go towards the net. They were just holding the puck, looking for an opening, even though they didn't get one. It was just beautiful to see. And that's another thing that the Wild have done that has changed the offense. And for people who don't know what a curling, I'm going to take Hughes because he's the reason for it. He'll be going, let's say he's on the right wing, and he's skating straight across. Defender comes, he does a quick loop, and he's going back the other way. I mean, and it's just one foot, he's the other way. And that's what I call a curling. The whole team is doing it. And it was like it's a beautiful thing to watch. Even though they didn't go towards the net, they were showing their puck skills there. And it's not often you can see a team hold the puck in the offensive side of the zone for 2 minutes, and Chicago had no answer for it. I mean, they just were skating around. Chicago's a very fast team. I mean, they're going to be very scary next year. And, they still need a little defensive help and some aging, but I'm going to tell you, Chicago's going to be one hell of a team next year. They have, they're building the right way. That's all I can say about Chicago. Any questions or comments on last night's game?
Good one from Nathan. What about depth on D for a trade? He says he's worried with Brodeen out.
Well, Seth brought this up last week, and I am looking at several defensemen, and on my next show, I'll have a complete list. Right now, I have about 6 players that nobody's mentioned, but if you're not going to the Cup, if you're not in the playoffs, they should be available for something. And I'm not talking about high-priced talent. I'm talking about $2 to $3 million players. My list isn't ready yet because it takes a lot of research, and I got to look. I look at everything to determine who I think would be available and what we'd have to give up to get them. But I will have a list for next week. Oh, and this is for Trav regarding Colorado and trading. They're ranked from 26th to last in talent-wise on the farm, and they have no money. And the players that they're all looking to get are all bottom 6 players that they're looking to trade to get somebody in the top 6, and I just don't see that happen. Colorado has spent the goods that they got. They're as good as they're going to get. They may add a couple of bottom 6 players, but what you see is what you get with them. And, they're such a good team. I don't see them doing much improvement. But the thing is, with Hughes, we now match up Colorado. McCarr, McKinnon, they got Hughes and Kaprizov. And they got, who's their winger?
Nietzsche's.
Yeah, they got Nietzsche's, we got Boldy. So we match up top tier wise quite nice with them. And, both their goalies are both playing 1A this year. I mean, Wedgwood has really found his home in Colorado. I mean, he's playing like it. But we have Gus Bus and the Wall of St. Paul. I mean, we match up nicely with them. Either way, I think it goes 7 games, and of course, I'm a homer. I'm picking the Wild. So, now, of course, I don't think too many people are picking the Wild to go to the Cup, but I am, as I've told you before. Let's see here. What else? I want to make sure I don't miss nothing. Did I? Talking about Hughes and how he's transformed the Wild. When he makes a stretch pass, when he's not controlling the exit, he's at 83.3%. And the stretch pass is the lowest number when connecting a pass going forward. I mean, it's the hardest pass to make is the stretch pass. And we're doing it at 83% now because of Hughes. And that's a huge advantage because with the stretch pass, it creates breakaways and 2-on-1s all the time. Whether you score a goal or not doesn't make any difference. You get the chance to do it. And that's the beauty of using the stretch pass. And the Wild are now completely in the whole game. I probably saw maybe 10 chances where it was a 2-on-2 formation. The rest was all stretch pass. And there's nothing wrong with that because we're getting damn good at it, thanks to Hughes. I mean, he's got 26 points in 22 games. He's number one in the NHL. And we're damn lucky to have him because, boy, he has really changed this team around. Our whole offense goes through him now. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he plays a lot of minutes because of it. But when you see his return and what the Wild get, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that kid can skate. You know, and I talk about the curlins. Who's better at than him? McCarr doesn't do a curling like McCarr has better edge work, but Hughes has better change of direction, we'll say, than anybody. I mean, he just turns the play upside down. He sees it's blocked, he goes the other way, and you can't stop him. It's just a beautiful thing to see. And I really like your comments on what you guys think of Hughes and his skating, because it's unbelievable as far as I'm concerned. Any questions or comments?
Good note from Trav here. The NHL roster freeze. The pause begins next Thursday, February 5th. The roster freeze will be lifted on February 22nd with the trade deadline on March 6th.
Yes.
So just good to keep in mind. I mean, that doesn't leave you a lot of runway for trades post-Olympics.
Well, that's the beautiful thing of having Chris Drury and Billy work in the Olympics together. Because I really think they've already got a deal worked out. And waiting until after the Olympics is over to see who gets hurt, I think is the big deal right now. They're just waiting to see who's coming through without getting hurt before they make a deal, which only makes sense. I mean, why would you want to pick up a player that gets hurt in the Olympics that you can't use? But as far as Colorado getting a big addition, they've already played their cards. I don't see them. They don't have anything. They don't have the money or the picks or the players now to, get a big upgrade that I can see. I mean, they may talk somebody into something, but I don't see Colorado's being a threat to us getting a player now. As you brought up, Trav, they don't have the goods now. They spent their bullets. Now it's time for us to spend ours, as this is an all-in season. Next question, I think.
Bob wants to know what Charlie Stramel's trade value is at this point.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's number one on our book. He's our best player. Even though he's playing in college, he's our best player. And I'm sorry to say it, but I think we're going to lose him in the next trade, whoever that is. I think Stramel's at the top of the pack there for that, because he's going to be one hell of a player, and you got to give up something good to get something good. And I think he's part of the package of whoever we get.
It does really feel like it's going to cost at least one of Urov, Jesper, and Stramel to get a deal done, and that's just something that kind of people are going to have to just accept as fact.
Yeah, well, for the top end players that have been moved, it's been 4 pieces, which is where I thought it would be. And Sherwood, who is just, he's a good middle six player, he was 3 pieces. And that's right on line. It's going to cost us 4 no matter how we look at it, whether it's picks or players or both. And in our case, it's going to have to be both. But you can absolutely assure it's going to be a minimum of 4 pieces. And I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with it, but that's the cost of doing business today in the trading world. Next question.
What are the odds Colorado falls back out of first place, or are we pretty set for 2 or 3?
Well, they're 9 points ahead, and they're 4-4-2 in their last 10. So I think Landeskog is skating, but he's not ready to return. And Taves, I think, might be out longer than that. That's 2 big hits for them to take. And, of course, they have come back down to earth without him. But I think Landeskog is getting ready to come back and will certainly be back by when the Olympics are over. And if we can gain any, we should gain some ground, but they're 9 points ahead of us right now. That's a lot to gain. Our big deal is Dallas. You know, even though we're in second place right now, they got a game in hand. And the biggest thing is we have to win home field. I mean, that's a big deal to get home field advantage in the playoffs. Simply because you get to what am I looking for? Match up the players' lines. That's the biggest advantage when you have it at home. You get to pick, and in the playoffs, that's huge. I mean, everything becomes microscopic in the playoffs, and that's the biggest reason for taking second instead of third. We're playing Dallas no matter what. It's just who's got a home field, and getting the last change in the lineup is going to be a big difference in a 7-game series or a 5-game series. However, what is it, 5 or 7 the first?
It's 7 each series.
Yeah. Okay. That's the biggest thing. I mean, we're playing Dallas no matter what. I don't see us catching Colorado. Next question.
Having last change is really good unless John Hines doesn't use it effectively like against Vegas. He just kept throwing the same thing out there.
Yeah, that was last year. He's pressing all the right buttons now. I mean, I think Hines has really improved his coaching. You know me, there's nobody harder on Hines than me. But I got to give credit where credit's due. He's making the lineups the right way now. He's using his time structure on the lines really well. And, you know, he's just pressing all the right buttons. Got to give credit where credit's due. He's doing a hell of a job. And
from what I saw,
go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. From what I saw, he had Eck out there to win the faceoff in OT, and then immediately pulled him off the ice so that they could get Boldy, Kaprizov, and Hughes.
Yeah, that's smart. Eck's our best faceoff player. Yeah, and that's the one thing we're lacking. We need somebody who can win the draw on the dot. Where is Eck at right now? 49, 50%?
Yeah, he at last check, he was at like 49.2, I believe. I'm pulling it up right now. Again, Apologies if my internet can't handle this. 49.2.
Yeah. And that's not good enough. We got to have somebody 55 or higher. We really do. It makes such a difference because instead of chasing, you're charging. That's the biggest thing for winning the playoff, especially in the D zone on a power play or a penalty kill. I mean, how many times do we get scored on when we lose the draw and all of a sudden they score a goal?
439 this year alone.
Yeah, there you go. It's a huge deficit. Next question or comment?
I just want to clarify this one from Matthew because I know we get new fans to the channel on almost a daily basis, and people are at different levels of hockey viewing. So he asked if we were to fall to 4th in the division, what would that mean for the playoffs? And I just want to clarify I just want to kind of clarify how that works out. When you fall out of the top 3, you go into either wild card 1 or wild card 2. Wild card 2 plays the number 1 overall team in the West. So if the Wild fell to wild card 2, they would play Colorado. If you were wild card 1, you would play the second number 1 seed. In this case, you'd play the Vegas Golden Knights.
Well, I like our chances with Vegas, even though Vegas is coming on. And they just picked up Rasmus Anderson from Calgary, right? That's going to help because they had a deficit there. They don't have their goalie system. I'm not that fond of. I don't think they're that good this year. So I like our chances with Vegas. I really do. If that were to happen.
Which I mean, Utah's playing their best hockey of the season right now, but the Wild are still 10 points ahead of them, and the Wild are they're in just kind of a grab as many points as you can until you get back on track stretch, and they still have a 10-point lead on the Mammoth.
I think that the Mammoth are 8-1-1 in their last 10. They're definitely going to make the playoffs. I mean, Mammoth are loaded with talent. Even though they lost Cooley, my favorite player from them. Is he back or is he? I think he's done for the year, isn't he?
Seth? I don't believe he is back yet. Checking on that right now. Why did they not? All right, let's do this. I always love when the first place that you go to look has no information that you need. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Logan Cooley is still on injured reserve as of right now.
Yeah, and he's been on since the beginning of the season, so he might be done for the year. Because you never know about the injury. They never tell you. Is he on the LTIR? I think he is.
Standard injured reserve is all it says.
Yeah. Huh. But yeah, Mammoth, they're loaded up. I picked them to make the playoffs at the beginning of the year, and I think they will. I mean, they're playing. Their biggest problem is they were having goalie problems, and it looks like the goalies have sorted themselves out. They're playing really good hockey. I mean, they just, I think they just beat Florida. If I'm thinking right, which is a very good question these days because I lose my memory half the time talking. I can tell you, I am taking those detox patches again, and it seems to be helping a little bit. My short-term memory, as I talked about, it's hell. And last night at the birthday bash, there were several times where talking, and I just completely forgot about what I was talking about when I was talking. Nathan Muckla is, what was I going to say now? Oh, I was talking to him about it, and then I would just lose focus on what the hell I was talking about. So he got to see firsthand how dreadful this disease is. But I am feeling a little bit better. I mean, my detox strips are black again. And that's a good thing because it's pulling out all the chemicals in your body, and especially in your brain that shouldn't be there. So hopefully this helps. I mean, still a little too early to tell, but it's a step in the right direction no matter what. Any more questions or comments?
Yes, Bob wants to know your thoughts on the shootout lineup.
Oh, Zuggs should have had a goal. He does the same move every time, and there's nothing wrong with that. But he's got to flick the puck up. The goalie knew what he was doing, and he slid over right when Zuggs made his move. And, of course, he stopped it. If he would have just pulled back one and flicked it up, he would have had a goal. It was wide open. But they knew, that's pre-scouting. They knew exactly what he was going to do, and they were ready for it. One thing I see about Kaprizov, he must be practicing because he was deadly. As you know, he's the only one who scored, and that was just a wait for the goalie to move type of thing. When he didn't move, he shot so fast, goalie had no chance. I mean, he's coming around. And I think, as I've said before, they need to have an in-house tournament to figure out who's got the best shots, and then just let them practice it so when overtime comes up, they're ready for it. And, we got the talent. I don't think, because of the schedule, we don't get a lot of practice time right now. But that's one thing I still would hope that they do, so that whoever wins the tournament gets to go first and second, third, so on. Kaprizov was at 37%, and he's scored the last 2 times he's played, so he's going to be. Can you look up and see what his overtime goal is now? It's got to be.
Kirill is 2 out of 6 this year, as far as the shootouts go, and I believe if I saw correctly, he's 9 out of 31 in his career.
Okay, so that's moving up. 2 out of 6 would be.
You want to know what? You want to know what Nikita Kucherov's face-off or shootout percentage is?
Yeah, it's probably perfect. He's got such a
14
good
player. 14 out of 58.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
What percentage is that?
It's 28%.
That's not good at all. Yeah, that's not good at all. Wow. And he's got such a hell of a shot. I mean, he leads Tampa Bay. He's a top 6 player in the league. I don't know how many points he has this year. I haven't really kept up with Tampa other than I had him second in the power index last week. And of course, I got Colorado first. And I had Minnesota at 8. And I had Dallas at 7. And this week, I'm putting Minnesota at 7, Dallas at 8, and I'm putting Tampa number 1 because they're just they're cruising. You can't keep Colorado at number 1 when you're 4-4-2. So I'm dropping them to second, even though they're still leading points. Next question or comment?
Trav. Will Billy be able to control himself at the Olympics? He was part of the 98 team that trashed the hotels and partied like it was 1999.
Yeah. I don't know. You'll have to ask him. I have no idea at all. Billy's Billy. He has certainly cemented his legacy Minnesota Wild hockey with pulling off the best trade the Wild have ever had in Quinn Hughes. And let's see what he does for an encore. I'm really looking forward to see what he does next. I'm absolutely certain he's doing something. And it's probably something that we have not talked about, even though we've looked at everybody pretty much that would help us. Who knows? Who thought we would get Hughes? I certainly didn't see it coming. I don't think anybody did. Yet here he is. So we'll see. It's just wait and see time right now. I don't think we're going to see anything until the Olympics are done because it only makes sense not to make a deal unless they can hold back from the Olympics, which nobody wants to do because everybody wants to play for their country. And I don't blame for that at all. I love it. I can't wait for the Olympics. Any more questions or comments?
We can use this one as kind of a cliffhanger for a future episode. Would any Blue Jackets centers be worthwhile and potentially cost less to acquire?
That's an interesting question. In fact, I did look at the Columbus Blue Jackets. And of course, they got Werenski, who's just awesome. Yeah, we'll make that for part of the next show. Let me go over the Columbus centers. I forget who they are now. I did look at them, and I didn't include them in my original list, so that has to tell you something to begin with. But it's always a possibility.
Adam Fantilli, Charlie Coyle are two of them. I think Boone Jenner's another one. And what's his name? There's another one that he's bounced around a little bit, and he finally signed a long-term deal to stay in Columbus. I'll find it here. Sean Monahan. Thank you, Ace. Thank you. Sean Monahan is the other.
Now, that would be interesting. I like Fantilli. He's not a first-line player, but he's definitely a second-line player for me. He would be replacing Mojo. And I could see that. I mean, I like Fantilli. He's a young kid, a lot of talent. He knows what are his point structures this year, Seth? Can you see?
Let me take a peek. Fantilli has 13 goals, 20 assists, 33 points in 51 games.
Yeah, good second line numbers. What's JoJo have for points now? I forget.
35.
Yeah. There you go. That's why I didn't look too much at Columbus. Nothing really stuck out for that could help this team. I'm looking to upgrade and 33 to his 35. It doesn't make any sense. Sean Monahan, he's a pretty good player. I like him. The few times I've seen him. I don't know if he does anything for the team, though. What do you think, Seth?
Monahan's got a... Monahan's underwhelming. I'm just going to be honest. He's underwhelming for me. He's got 8 goals right now. He is like a 10 to 15 goal a year type player. And I don't know. I have always, he's been linked to the Wild previously, and he just always has really done nothing for me.
Yeah, he didn't do anything for me either. That's why I passed on Columbus. There's only one player that I really would trade for, and that's Zach Werenski. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah,
he's
Werenski.
one hell of a defense. But he's the only player that turned my head. And they're not trading him. That's who you build around.
Right.
And their top 6 does not for me. That's why I didn't pick anything from them. Any more questions?
Can we? So Colorado with 2.5 minutes left is trailing Ottawa right now. That would be
good.
That'd be a yuck for them. Can we give some legitimate praise to Marcus Johansson for being named to Team Sweden?
Oh, he was named.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know why he wasn't picked in the beginning. He's having a hell of a year. Best year for us in 3 years, that's for sure. But when you're playing for your life, for your, to keep playing, you put out all you can, and he certainly is. And just a thought on that: if they go to resign him for next year, you got to make it just a 1-year deal to keep him to keep putting out the effort, because the last 2 years he didn't put in the effort. We all know that, and he had 22 goals in 2 years. What does that tell you? 11 goals a year. He wasn't putting in the effort. Because he's certainly got the talent. I mean, his break-in speed and control of the puck is excellent, and he always has a clean break-in. He's one of the few Wild that really can control, besides Hughes and Boldy, and to some context act. But he's got the talent. It's just what did he do with it the last 2 years? I mean, it'd have to be a 1-year contract from here on out, because he gets comfortable. He gets comfortable. But yeah, I got to give my hats off. He's having a hell of a year.
The Ottawa
Anything
Senators
else?
just scored an empty net goal to take a 4-2 lead.
All right, now we're going to be 7 points back, and we have 28 games left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we either have to go 25-3, 24-4, or something in that configuration, which is quite doable for us, because our core players are so good. I mean, look at Team Sweden. Half the players on their team are from here. Well, not really, but you know what I'm saying. We have a very strong core. We match up well with Colorado. And, the last time we played Dallas, they didn't have any answers for us. And even I don't see that for the whole year. We're better than Dallas. And to win the cup, you got to beat everybody. We got to win 16 games to get there. And I don't know who Billy's going to make his next deal with, but I really like our chances for the cup. I really do. Because he's going to do something. And I'm just going to leave it there, because I've gone over this, before. I'm predicting the Wild to win the cup, and I'm saying we're going to play Carolina for the cup, actually. Any thoughts or questions?
I think that is a good spot to leave it. Colorado scored, but Ottawa added a second empty netter, so now it's 5-3.
There you go. I love it. All right, folks. When am I going to be on next, Seth?
It's a good question. Let me just check my schedule here quick.
I'm all stuffed up. I still got a cold. It's coming on.
So I have a game Monday night. Do the Wild play Tuesday of next week? Let me just check the schedule.
Oh, I forgot one thing that everybody asked me. I mean, I had a lot of, I had about like 15 people come to the birthday party. Even we only had 2 tables, so everybody that came couldn't sit at the table with us. But to the person, everybody asked me, Seth, why we don't have a show once in a while with Alex, with me, Alex, and you. And I'll leave that up to you, because you're in charge. But actually, every single person asked me that, why we don't have a show
All right.
with the 3 of us. So I'll leave that Seth to think about. But it certainly seems like the fans want to see it. So
if the people want it, the people will get it.
Well, there you go. And with that, I'm going to say thank you, everybody, for listening to me rant and rave and taking time to listen to me. You know, for all the kind words that everybody gave me yesterday. Really, it was really heartfelt. I mean, I almost wanted to cry. It was that nice. I didn't realize, you know, that I meant that much in the hockey world to you, but thank you for all the kind words. It really means a lot to me. With that, we'll see you next week.
We'll do Tuesday night. The Wild play Monday night against Montreal. They play Wednesday against Nashville. So we'll do Tuesday night next week.
Okay. See you next Tuesday then. Bye, everybody.